What's up, Sharks? My name is Hunter, alongside my partners Jason, Austin, and Charles. We're here today seeking $650,000 in exchange for 5% of our company.
Wow.
Having been a D1 college basketball player and playing for the NBA, I've witnessed the many challenges that athletes experience by not being able to monetize their brand.
Charles and I would regularly walk by the campus bookstore and see jerseys with his number selling on them, and not a penny went to him. As you all can imagine, this really pissed us off.
So, Sharks, that's why we decided to take matters into our own hands.
Platform for former and current collegiate athletes to monetize their brand by selling player-owned, team-issued, and game-worn gear.
Customers go to our site, search for their favorite college or athlete, and find the gear in each player's collection. In our first 12 months of business, we have over 800 athletes on our platform.
We've put in the work, and we know how to grind.
That is awesome. Look, I am all for the collegiate. In fact, I was just Colin Hurd or whatever from the Herd. I just happened to be watching something. I was in a T-Mobile store and it just happened to be on, and they were talking about I guess Nick Saban calling out was a Texas A&M coach or something, or vice versa, for paying off, to get the people, getting the recruiters to pay the students to come to the schools. And Colin's like, oh well, it's always been said, like, oh, you're gonna go rent this car, and inside the car, you open up the glove box, and in the glove box there's like $1,000 or something in the glove box. Like, he's like, oh, the best of the best players have always gotten paid. And there's no I in team. There's a me, obviously, but there's a me. The team helps accelerate it makes everybody better, right? And makes everybody's stock rise when we're talking about the draft and stuff. And that it's a little bit different in basketball because there's only five players on the court at any time. But I think that they should be able to monetize and be able to, within reason. Maybe there should be some oversight in it, so that things don't get out of hand for too long or something to that effect. But I do believe that these people, these collegiate players, should be able to monetize, because look, the way it is set up now, when you look at the players when they get to the professional level, it's all about their brand, right? And it's about their brand before they ever get there. I mean, if you watch the NFL draft, probably I don't really watch any of the other drafts, but if you watch the NFL draft, you see like the guys they're getting dressed up in like memorable ways. I mean, some of it kind of might look a little goofy but whatever. But the fact that matters is it makes you, it makes you stand out from the rest of everybody else. And I think, in this day and age where everybody can have their own Twitter, have their own platform, and grow their own audience the way that they see fit. Now, with that said, there's a lot of negative that comes along with it. Like, you see it in the NBA, like, well, I don't want to play here anymore, so it's time for you to trade me. I don't care that I got a no trade clause. I don't care that I got and they have the brand and the following to be able to be like, well, we're at their beck and call at that point. But, I'm all for it. So I think if they can make a way, to sell their merchandise and enable them to be able to make money doing what they love or potentially really good at, I think that and again, having some oversight in the grand scheme of things, instead of all the money going back to the colleges, like that part is not the greatest of parts of it all overall.
So let me jump in just so everybody understands what's going on here, right? So when they talk about NIL, or name, image, or likeness, that's a brand new rule.
Yeah.
So up until this past year, college athletes couldn't get paid, amateur athletes couldn't get paid at all. Somebody sued, and that led to all the rules being changed.
It's about time.
So now every college athlete is allowed to sell their name, image, and likeness and start to make money. And some of them are really getting paid. But there's a lot of competition in this space, right? Because everybody sees it as a gold rush. So what sets you guys apart? What's your secret sauce?
So one, it comes down to relationships. We're young, we're 21 to 23-year-olds. College kids see the hustle, they see the grind, they can relate to us. And also, especially with the NIL and merchandising, we have licensing deals with 13 of the most prestigious universities, so that really adds value to a lot of people.
Exclusive?
There's a couple ways we can structure deals with athletes. Some are on an exclusive basis, and some are not. But there are also tons of guys and girls who are making a very solid amount of money out of college, selling their old team-issued gear. Post-collegiate.
But hold on a second. I think the question was, do you have any exclusivity? And my first thought was the with the colleges, with the universities, that's where you really want it to be, not necessarily. I mean, players. I mean, if you could get certain players, the ones like the LeBrons of the world that are followed from like high school and middle school, and even younger, those, if you could get exclusive with them, that would be awesome. But to me, those, that upper like one generational players are probably inking deals before you're ever even gonna be able to touch them. But if you can get the exclusivity in the college, I mean, who knows? I mean, at least you're gonna probably get paid off for to have the contract go away for at least certain players.
Opportunities. If they want to sell their jersey, we don't need to pay licensing. This gear is theirs once they leave.
Let's say you got a Class A player and he's going to sell his old jersey. What do you get for that?
On the vintage stuff, once they're out of school, we're keeping 20% on that. On the custom merch, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the collectibles, the phone cases that we're producing, we're keeping 40% on that.
My personal jerseys were selling for north of $1,000.
That's great.
How much did you get of the 1,000?
He got the whole thing because he's
that's
co-founder of the company.
Ding. Good job. Get that money. $1,000. So like, to me, I think the most I've ever paid for a jersey is like, I don't know, $60, $70 or something like that. And I have very, very, very few jerseys in my closet. Yeah, I mean, I think there might be like 3 jerseys, 3 Eagles players in my closet, which the names are okay. Like I need to get a newer, or not a newer player, but maybe some of the classic Eagles.
How much work are you doing to spread the word, doing the social, pushing people to the site to get them to buy merch?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us in terms of customer acquisition has been the athletes promoting on their own social following, given that.
So you're just providing the logistics and infrastructure.
Exactly.
And then once they leave, they can sell their vintage stuff at a much higher price.
Exactly. Once
Okay,
their
got it.
eligibility is completely exhausted.
So I'm looking to steal. So 5%, $650,000, $13 million valuation. What are your sales?
Yeah, so we started the company just over a year ago, and since that time, we've done $1.3 million in sales.
Good for you guys.
How much have you made on that?
200,000 we've made on that.
Our senior year, we ran this and the $1.3 million in sales in our dorm room in college. So now that we actually feel that we have the opportunity to go on these college campuses, interact with the student athletes, face-to-face is always better to get deals done. Like, we feel like the sky's the limit.
All right, guys, look. The big behemoth in your space for merchandise is a public company. It trades at a 20 multiple. On this 200,000 that you're making, that would make you worth, if you were public and equivalent to them, which you're not because they're so much bigger than you, you'd be worth $4 million. Instead, you're telling me I got to pay 10 times your sales. 650,000, 5%, $13 million. That's nuts. So you get 1.3 million in sales. Your valuation's crazy. I mean, you're good guys, but
They look. I'm sorry, but they are looking a little nervous here. At from Mr. Wonderful, kind of roasting them for that, and good on Kevin for pointing that out. 5% is not, is not going to be enough. You're asking for a lot of money at $650,000, and there's a lot of things that have to go right in order for that to be worth something at that point. So when I look at that, I'm like, all right, what if you're doing 1.3 million, what's your competitors doing? Because let's face it, college is huge. Okay, you go to the South, the football teams in the South are way bigger than like the Tennessee Titans that are in the South. Like, they're bigger than the teams that are there, the NFL pro level teams that are there. People care more about that. The basketball team, like. 1.3 million. I get it was their first year and all that, and I'm not, again, ding because it's absolutely awesome, but I think a lot of things have got to go right for you to get anywhere close to that valuation, or anything anywhere close to that valuation, even if I give up 10% there, because that's just, man, that's a lot.
Valuation's crazy. I mean, you're good guys, but who told you to walk in here with that valuation?
Do you
Because
guys
right now,
have
I think
other
it's a huge
investors?
problem.
Have you raised money so
Yeah,
far?
so we raised around a few months ago. It valued the company at $10 million. So Again, coming in at 13, we have.
What was that deal specifically?
So we raised money at a $10 million valuation. We raised $1.25 million.
From whom?
From a very credible established venture capitalist firm in Chicago that, among others, are backers of Cameo and other large marketplaces out there.
But they're not sharks. I think that's a crazy valuation. Now, look, maybe they're putting other people's money to work. This is my money, okay? My money. I don't do stupid deals. This
He's
deal's
a bottom
it's
fisher is
stupid.
what he is.
Guys, I'm out.
At 5%, it's tough.
Not worth it.
Right? That's extremely tough. For something like this to happen, there has to be a major upside in return. So, me and Mark were talking. I'm willing to make an offer, but, you
might not like it. You're asking us to give money, but you need us to go work for you.
need our legs.
And so while venture capital money is great, Mark Cuban money and Kevin Hart money and name is a whole lot greater.
It's a different ballgame.
So go ahead, Kevin.
We're asking for 30%.
Whoa.
Right, so $650K that you asked for 30%.
That's a rich deal.
It is and it isn't. So there's no amount of money that you could pay otherwise to get an NBA owner and one of the biggest stars in the universe to add credibility to your company. And what I always say, look, 70% of a watermelon is a whole lot better than 95% of a grape.
Hey guys, I'm not in
money
this
for
deal
10
officially.
million
I'm out
bucks.
because I want to just give you some advice. Why don't you make your deal contingent on them actually delivering
We don't do
those stars to you,
contingency.
not hearsay.
Frankly,
Hold on. So this is one of those classic mistakes. Going in, asking for a ton of money. We haven't even talked about like what is the money for, and they also didn't talk about what percentage they gave up for that 1.2 million at $10. Well, I guess you could do the math. I guess it's like a little over 10% they gave up. Yeah, sorry. My camera went out. Everything was going crazy here for a second. So, yeah, I mean, you're getting, I would say it's not the end of the world. It's hard to get, two people like that on board that could really push the envelope for you and really help cement you into a highly competitive market. So, I mean, I would counter, but I can't see them going even to 25% because you're asking for a lot of money to make it happen.
I don't think you're worth anywhere near $10 million. I think you're actually worth about $2.1 million. Laura, you going to make an offer? What are you going to do?
Listen, I don't think that this is the right business or valuation for me. So for those reasons, I'm out. But you have a deal from Mark and from Kevin Hart. Are you going to counter them, or what's going on in your heads?
There is no counter,
I don't
guys.
understand the reservation here.
Yeah, guys, you got to make a decision.
Look, I don't think, there are better strategically aligned partners than you guys. I think that from our standpoint, to come down, to that valuation, no matter who it's with, it's just not in our best interest right now.
That's fair enough.
I realize that you guys could bring in star athletes. You have the star power. I think that our counteroffer would probably be $750,000 for 7.5%.
No.
Which is understandable. I think that it's just, for us, it's not smart to go below that seat.
I love that you are.
Wow. Way to stick to your guns. Look, it's expensive. It's expensive to get that kind of exposure with them for real. And I mean, like I said, we didn't talk about the money as far as what they plan on doing with it. They didn't talk about how much it costs for them to promote it, or are they not doing any promotion? They're solely riding the wave of the of just word of mouth between the athletes, like, which is fine, but when you're like Mark pointed out, like when you're in the gold rush, you need to capture every athlete. You need to make sure that you're in front of every athlete so that they know that they can use you to push. Because for every, whale that you're going to have come through the door, you're going to have a ton of minnows that just aren't going to make any real money happen, right? They're just not going to, maybe the family buys some stuff or whatever, but like, you got to get every whale that you can into the door. And you're gonna need a lot. Like, you need that money, and when you're talking about 20%, you get to keep 20% and 40% on some items. That's cool, but I mean, it does make it really tight when you start adding in those expenses of like promotion.
staying true to what you believe in, as you should. That was our offer. You know, if it's not taken, then we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
Guys, I also respected you until you turned that offer down. Now I think you're bozos.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that. We're gonna check out their website in a second here.
They said, you turned down Mark and Kevin?
I don't understand that.
They're going to
They
be
only
like,
made
what?
$200,000.
I get pitched this exact same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So there are no barriers to entry. To have us together,
Yeah, strong.
oh my God.
They missed that opportunity.
I think for us, it's no regrets at all. I'm proud of the guys, and proud that we stuck to our guns and walked away from that deal.
I mean, it sounds like to me like Mark should just go ahead and get himself some college students and just make that happen then. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's that special the way Mark talked about it. I mean, why even pay $650,000 and get for 50, or well, half of that, $325,000 for 15%. And look, for 15%, Mark would have went to bat for him. So I love seeing Shark Tank on there. I love seeing faces on there. You got some fresh kicks. So they got all these signed helmet, gift cards. The gift card's a little weird. I think a little weird to have on the trending. At least that's the first thing. I guess maybe they have that many people buying gift cards. Not terrible, but you got to keep that on the books, which is not always great compared to saying just get the cash and go. So there they are. They were on Shark Tank. Oh, it's funny. Kevin's not in the picture, and you got Robert in there as well. We can see over social media, got 19,000 people following on Instagram, which is great to see. Very good to see. We got Facebook, not as much engagement with 1,900, almost 2,000 likes, follows over there. And they are on TikTok with 320 followers. I mean, it seems like they're doing a lot with TikTok. They just aren't getting like a massive amount of traction there, like some companies and some people do. But guys, Hunter, Jason, Austin, Charles, I'd love to have you come on the show. Just drop a comment down below. Like Robert here says, love your video, Joe. I learn so much from your review. Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate you being a part of the super community. We are here to learn and grow and be the best versions, the super versions of ourselves and for our businesses. Anyway, I'll see you in one of these two videos right here. Take care and go be super.